video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Sunday, August 9th, 2009. This is episode 154. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, a question from Keith. Keith, say your question.
Most memorable boss fight.
And joining us today is Ivan.
I picked two because one is kind of the most memorable end boss fight, like a single-person game, which was, and I don't even remember the dude thing's name, the last boss in BioShock. All of the other bosses were kind of first-person shooter, like the Big Daddies kind of thing. They were just kind of run around and shoot the Big Daddies. The last boss fight in BioShock was actually more traditional boss fight where there was actual strategy. Incredibly hard to fight until you figured out the strategy involved in fighting the boss, which was kind of cool because it was like old school platformy. Boss is impossible until you figure out that, you know, there's a pattern, and that made it actually kind of cool. But the first one that came to mind wasn't, I don't know if it's considered a boss fight because it's not like the last boss of a game and because it's World of Warcraft, but when I started doing raiding, there's a raid instance called Naxxramas, which has, you know, technically like 10, 15 boss fights in it. And one of the coolest boss fights I've done in a very long time is with a guy called Hygen the Unclean. The boss fight involves the melee guys punching him, the ranged guy is standing on a platform shooting him, and all the while you have to run through this pattern of poison lava things that come up. So like the first one comes up and you have to stop right before it, and then when it goes down you have to run a little bit, and the next one comes up and you have to run a little bit. All the while you have to be shooting them. It's one of those things where until you've done it a few times, people make fun of you when you can't do. It's called the safety dance because there's an achievement that if everyone in the group does it successfully, you get an achievement called the safety dance.
Very good.
Interesting.
And also joining us is Phil.
What comes to mind is Double Dragon. Yeah, the boss at the end of the game looks like a big adobo or a bobo or whatever, however you say it, with a big goofy looking face and head, and he's in a white suit with a machine gun. And he just kind of runs around and shoots at you. And I just remember having a difficult time beating him.
And finally joining us, answering his own question, is Keith.
I'm going to have to go with Mother Brain from Metroid.
Sweet.
I just remember the giant brain in the jar and all the little regenerating pustules that you had to blast through. It was just a very memorable boss fight. It was very fun. It still felt epic.
There is one boss fight I won't forget in Crisis when I was fighting the Korean dude, and he was in a power suit, yet he had no mask on, and I nailed a sniper shot rifle right through his face, and he didn't die.
I think you've mentioned that before.
Yes, I have. That's why I remember it a lot, because I was like, I'm going to shoot you in the face with a sniper rifle, and that should kill you in one shot. No, he continued to walk around and take 5 or 6 more shots to the face with a sniper rifle. This week on the GamerCast Network. Super Metroid is one of the greatest video games ever created. Retro Force Go talks about why. Yeah, there pretty much isn't anything more to say about that. Podtacular celebrates their 200th episode and 4-year anniversary as they record live for the first time. It's a special occasion as we bring back some of the old Podtacular staff and relive the moments that made Podtacular and the Halo universe. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
People here have played the recently released Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and PC demo for Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yar.
Yar!
I tried the demo out for a couple minutes, and this was different than the demo I played before. The demo I played was like a challenge room, you know, wave after wave of guys. This one's actual, like, couple actual levels of the game.
Yeah, you weren't fond of the other one, if memory serves.
I was not fond of how easy the combat seemed. I seemed godlike in taking people down.
Yeah, if you're fighting non-boss type guys, you pretty much have no problem beating up thugs.
Yeah, I mean, you push that, there's that button, which is the counter button, and you can sense, it shows a little, like, thing over their head when they're about to attack.
Yeah, it's almost like a spider sense, but it's a bat sense.
Yeah, actually, we'll get to that in a minute, but I had a very strong kind of Spider-Man feeling. Let me preface the whole thing by saying that I was pleasantly surprised because for whatever reason, I was thinking that this game was more of a fighter game, more along the lines of like Tekken. I don't know why. I just had that in my mind that it was more of a 3D fighter type game. I downloaded the demo and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it was more of like a brawler, more like Double Dragon kind of thing, where you kind of walk around the level, you fight some guys as you're going, and then, you know, you do different mission type stuffs. In the demo, you have an ability called Detective Mode, which when you enable, it kind of gives you like an X-ray view of people, so you see their little skeletons, and you can see where they are, no matter where they are on the map. But the whole point is to get away from enemies that have detected you and to kind of be more stealthy. You bat grapple to these gargoyle statues that are throughout the asylum, and they're along the rooftops. There's one room where it's just a big square room, and there's like 5 guys, and you have to take them all out. And if you just kind of drop down and start fighting them, you know, they all swarm and start shooting you, and you lose. So you have to kind of be stealthy and do one at a time. It even tells you, you know, if you're detected and you want to regain your stealthiness, that you should swing in between the gargoyles to kind of have your opponents lose perspective of where you're at. And so it was very Spider-Man-y, me swinging in between these gargoyle statue things across the rooftops. It was very much in the vein of Spider-Man, including if you stop on one, you can drop down, upside down, behind the guys and kind of take them out stealthily from behind. And it was, you know, kind of, I had these visions of Spider-Man kind of dropping his spider web and hanging upside down behind a guy. But anyway, it was a very fun game. I very much enjoyed playing the demo.
Now, question for you with the camera, because in the PC, unless I just didn't know the command to lock the camera or whatever that was, but it was a pain in the ass because the camera would move wherever you move the mouse.
I haven't played the PC version. I don't know. But I think there's a camera assist.
It was on. It doesn't work.
I played the Xbox demo version, and the camera was whatever default camera view kind of thing that is set up. It was very intuitive. I very rarely had any camera issues.
Now, Keith, if you do play it on the PC, you can plug in your Xbox controller.
I've tried that, but it wants drivers, which I don't apparently have.
Oh, it should actually do that automatically. It should go on the internet and get them.
As long as you have XP or above.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. I second his review, though. It was surprisingly fun.
Did anyone notice the voices of Joker and Batman? They were...
Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill was the Joker, and Batman was Kevin Conroy, who was the animated series Batman voice.
I didn't notice that necessarily, although, you know, when Batman was talking, I'm like, that guy, it sounds like the animated series Batman. The Joker, I didn't necessarily make that connection, although now that you say that, and I think about the way he talked, he very much sounded like the animated series Joker. It just felt natural.
It's a fun game. It seems, you know, it reminded me very much of X-Men Origin. Like, it was just fun in that way.
I agree. As I was playing the demo, I was sitting there thinking, this is a game that I would purchase if it were out already. I think it's out on the 25th or something of August. It was good enough that as I was playing it, I thought I would buy this game and enjoy playing it. And I'm not even a huge DC fan. As if you've listened to the show, you know I'm not a huge Batman fan.
Next topic.
It's Bob!
Okay, before we go on, Bob, are you recording?
Yes. Wait. Check. No.
Push your button, record yourself.
I had the wrong microphone selected. Check. Okay, now I'm recording.
Your question for the week is, what is your most memorable boss fight from a game? All waiting on you. This is the price you pay for being late.
That's a set. Yeah, that's why I'm not complaining.
Let me guess, it's Frostfire from City of Heroes.
No. City Heroes boss fights are actually pretty lame.
Oh, that was the lamest of all fights. That's why I figured you would say it.
Ah, okay. Well, I guess none, because I can't think of any.
Anything from Bookworm Adventures.
I did kill Mama Bear with one word today. Quarantined.
Nice.
Which is really impressive considering there's only 16 letters that you get to pick from. Yeah, I'm going to put that on because that was amazing because here's what happens. When you do damage, it changes like the animation of the guy based on how big your word is. Like if you do a really little word, he just pops across the screen and like bumps him on the nose. If you do kind of a big word, he'll like swing like a pitfall like from a rope and like beat him in the face like this. This one, it was like I start making the word and it's like fantastic, and I click on the button and I don't know what the hell happened. Just like comes screaming at Mama Bear from the other side of the screen. She topples over, screams, and then just dies. And I got some kind of diamond letter that if I use it, it restores my health to 100% and gives me one of each of the health and mana potion things. Yeah. So killing Mama Bear in one word today. With the power of grammar.
Behold the power of grammar.
Next topic.
Okay, so story time here. Do we care that there are not going to be experience levels or experience in Final Fantasy XIV?
You need to explain that.
I'm curious how they're going to do that.
They haven't said much. All they said, of course, Final Fantasy XIV is the sequel to Final Fantasy XI, really. It's the next MMO in the Final Fantasy series.
That makes sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
The sequel to Final Fantasy XI is Final Fantasy XIV. Got it.
Somehow it works. It's their way.
It's Asian math. Carry the 4.
The producer of the game, Tanaka here, said there's not going to be any experience points or a leveling system. Their priority...
Our priority is making the game one gigantic grind interrupted by cinematics. That's all the entire game is going to be. You never level.
They did say their priority is having players enjoy the process of growing their character.
How do you grow if you don't gain any levels?
They know that people like the job system in Final Fantasy XI.
We did? Whatever.
And they're going to try and do something like that, and they're going to focus more on the weapons in the game.
But I don't want to be crack whore again.
Okay, so it'll be like Hellgate London, where you don't really level up so much as your weapon levels up.
I guess it's partly that, and also they said it's partly skill-based, where as you use your skills, they get better.
So there's a level up system then.
Yeah, it's probably just like you don't level your skills per se, they just improve. It's floating point leveling. It's not integer leveling.
So, like World of Warcraft, where when you level, your points just magically increase. You don't get to put them in anything in particular.
And it won't be like, your weapon skill has gotten to level 5. It's plus 5 damage. It'll just be like, your weapon skill is 4.6. You get 4.6 damage. And when it's 4.7, you get 4.7 damage. There won't be any cutoffs. It'll just be like, it's better now. It's always getting better as long as you use it.
But you're never going to see then any magical jumps in your abilities. It's all going to be like a slow progress.
Yeah, exactly. The entire game's going to be one gigantic grind where you never notice your guy's getting any better. So it'll be fun. For Asians.
Based on that description, I was thinking, and now I'm thinking I would rather it be this way, thinking Guild Wars, if you just instantly create a level 20 character and just build it based on that level cap and kind of improve as you play.
That would suck as well.
If it was any other game except Final Fantasy, I'd try it just to see if it was good, but it'll suck because it's Final Fantasy.
But it'll look damn good while it's sucking.
It'll look good. It'll look fantastic.
Yeah, and everyone will look like a girl.
Except the one race of giants.
Well, yeah, but they'll be all cutesy like teddy bears or something. Like whatever the hell race I was.
One of those Koopos or whatever the hell they are with your little pink ball on your head.
Next topic.
Okay, moving on. Right along. Do we care that Best Buy may start price matching new games based on used game prices from GameStop?
Now, what does that sentence mean?
This is only going on in select markets right now. So let's say a new game comes out like Madden, right? And you know how GameStop always has used copies rightly available as soon as a new one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually it's like, what, $5 cheaper, right?
Right. To get some game with hepatitis on it.
What you can do then at Best Buy is say, okay, I want to buy Madden at the used GameStop price of $55 as opposed to $60. So if Best Buy has a new version of the game, you can price match it to the used copy at GameStop.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I can get behind that.
Oh, dude, that would be funny as hell, actually. I like that because Best Buy is using their conglomerate corporate power to put GameStop out of business, because that's pretty much the only thing keeping GameStop going at this point, I'm assuming.
Pretty much. Now, the only thing is Best Buy usually doesn't carry a very large catalog of games. Like, they don't have all the games that GameStop has.
Yeah, they're very much what's within the last 6 months. Like, if you try and go in and buy Forza 2, you're not going to be able to find it at Best Buy.
Yeah, but if I wanted to play Forza 2, I would have bought it when it came out.
Well, you know, I'm just saying. They don't carry the... Like, I bet if you went in there and tried... Well, Bioshock's a bad example because it was very popular, but...
Freedom Force. You're not going to find it.
Probably not.
Which is ironic because you can still go into Best Buy and buy the Diablo Battle Chest for $60.
Oh my god. You will forever be able to find that. Even after Diablo 3 comes out, you'll still be able to get it.
Right, and it will always be like $60.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Okay, another story. Remember when Hellgate launched? That they had that offer for the lifetime subscription plan?
Yep.
Yes.
That went well.
Now, Hellgate wasn't the only one with that offer. Lord of the Rings Online also had something similar.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they did that as well.
What, like $150 up front?
Yeah, and you just can play forever. Or in the case of Hellgate, a year.
Yeah, Hellgate was about $200. I don't remember what Lord of the Rings was. Well, so Champions Online, the MMO, is now offering a lifetime subscription to their game.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
The game itself has, of course, normal MMO rates, $15 a month. They are also offering right now, until September 1st, if you pay them $200, you never have to pay again.
Don't do it.
What you get, of course, you don't ever pay again. You get access to Star Trek Online beta when it comes out in 6 months or so.
That's worth $200.
And when Star Trek Online launches, you're going to get a Mirror Universe costume set for Star Trek Online, I guess if you choose to play that one as well.
Oh, well.
Now, for Champions, you're going to get a retro costume set, an in-game Foxbat action figure, and 8 additional character slots.
So it's cheaper because it's $180 for a year or $200 for the lifetime subscription. But since the game is only going to last 12 months, you're actually saving $20.
Yes, assuming it burns and fails like Hellgate did. But it probably won't. Come on. No faith in Champions Online?
Not really.
It'll last more than a year, but yeah, I don't have faith that it'll last.
$200 worth?
It'll last $200 worth, I think, because that's less than, it's 13 months, I suppose. But I don't know. Champions is going to be competing with not only World of Warcraft as an MMO, but City of Heroes as a superhero MMO. So
You have to pull players away from either one of those
right.
who have built up. I mean, I still play City of Heroes. He still plays City of Heroes. Everybody except me plays Warcraft still. In order to justify another MMO, we'd have to stop playing the one we're playing now, which I don't think any of us are prepared to do because it hasn't stopped being fun yet. So, again, I try to wait anyway. When I buy one of these new MMOs, you got to keep your expectations kind of low because it's going to suck for like the first 3 months. Because something's going to go wrong and somebody's going to be bitching about, this, that, and the other thing is unbalanced, and then none of the servers are going to work, and you're going to get a bunch of apologies and extra time on your subscription from the company as they apologize for stuff that didn't come up in the beta, blah, 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 blah. And all that crap doesn't work itself out for like the first 3 to 6 months or something. Happened with Warcraft, happened with City of Heroes, happens with every one of them. I mean, it's not like you're going to really be able to play when the game first comes out. And if that isn't the case, I will be shocked.
Well, they have a beta going on right now.
They won't let me in. But still, the betas never, ever have enough people in them compared to when it actually goes up on launch day and you get everybody trying to create a character all at the exact same time and everybody showing up in the newbie zones all at the exact same time.
God, I hate that.
Yeah, even Warcraft failed with the Wrath of the Lich King launch. 4 years after the game was already out, they released Lich King, and the starting areas were just ridiculously overpopulated. And even if you could get in and your connection was stable, you couldn't do any quests because it was, kill 10 of these things, and you'd go over to this area to kill 10 of these things, and there's 125 other people all in the same area killing 10 of these things.
The second they spawn, they just get lynched.
Right, exactly. That was exactly what happened.
You got groups of 20 people doing a newbie quest that's meant to be done solo and take 10 minutes.
Talk about the worst day of work ever. There's one, get it! Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm not even all the way materialized.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everybody wants to be the first to experience the new content in advance.
Let them. Just don't read the web pages. That's how what was the ruin your game question from last week? Yeah, that's how you ruin your game. When you start a new MMO, don't read anything. Find out all the stupid crap all on your own. Like, I didn't know B opened up your backpack. Like, that's a sentence you want to hear yourself say about 4 months into the game.
That's like NC. I will never forget that as long as I live. NC, when he first started playing Warcraft, he was like, why does my money keep disappearing? because he'd have, you have copper, bronze, and gold. He's like, my money keeps disappearing. It's because he kept gaining enough copper to convert it from copper to silver.
I had 1,500 before, now I only have 15. What happened? This sucks. I'm never going to be able to afford anything.
He put that in like guild chat or something. He's like, why do I keep losing money? And everyone was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I had like 90 copper and now I have 2. And everyone was like, did you look to see how much silver you have? Oh, yeah, that went up.
Yeah, but again, he didn't know. It's funny, though.
He still doesn't live that down. Every time he asks something that is just kind of an obvious question, we're like, yeah, it's kind of like copper.
See, I kind of like that kind of stuff. If a game's that large where you just, every time you play, you learn something new. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a Rome board. Oh my god, look at all this stuff. It's Rome.
Oh yeah, there is a Rome board in Champions now City of Heroes, isn't there?
Yeah, found that out. I got my veteran badges going back 36 months or whatever, and I know there's a Rome board. What the hell? Why didn't anybody tell me this?
There's a whole time travel thing, isn't there? We got time travel.
Oh yeah. Whole bunch of crap in that game I don't know about.
Next topic.
Okay, what can we do next? Does anybody care that StarCraft 2 is delayed?
Oh, we're shocked. Oh, it's not coming out when they said it would. Oh.
That's par for the course for a lot of games recently, let alone something by Blizzard.
Hey, I'll say it again. If they postpone it and they fix whatever was not working, I'm all for it. Don't put out
Hellgate.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you gotta delay it, delay it. Make it right.
There's a lot of console games that have been delayed recently.
Dragon Age just got delayed too.
A lot of them, the consensus is, well, we're going to delay it because originally it was going to come out in late November of this year, and we don't want to compete with 155 other games coming out in late November of this year. Like last year. Last year was just awful.
You couldn't play them. You couldn't play them all.
Yeah, there was like 10 games that all came out between November and December that were all, AAA titles that everyone wanted to play, and we even said, there's games that we're just not going to play right now because there's too many other games coming out.
See, and that's what they need to then release them like during the dry spell. Don't shove them all out right then and there.
Which is the story of our lives. We all agree on that, but we're in the minority because, everybody wants everything now. And we're all like, no, release them in like March when there's nothing.
Because we have other stuff to do. Maybe that's the problem. No, it's cool. I can amuse myself till it comes out. It's fine. I'm not bored with this other thing yet.
Now, Blizzard isn't, of course, saying it's because of the holiday season here. The delay is blamed on the new BattleNet. They're still working it out.
Then work it out.
Yeah, please.
Take your time, get it right.
It is causing issues because at least once a month there's issues logging into World of Warcraft for people who have switched to BattleNet accounts.
World of Warcraft is getting tied to BattleNet, right?
Yeah, they started that.
It's actually a cool feature when you switch your World of Warcraft login to a BattleNet account. And then you create your BattleNet account, you can put in the registration codes for all of your games and they all show up under your account, and you can, re-download. It's kind of like Steam, where if you have removed Diablo 2 from your machine, but you've entered your serial number into your BattleNet account, you can just re-download Diablo 2 whenever you want.
What about Diablo?
I'm sure you can do that too. I think as long as you have a valid CD key and you register it on BattleNet, you can put it in there.
Well, luckily here, I guess everyone probably here would be worried about this possibly delaying Diablo 3.
Why would it? Shouldn't it be 2 different teams?
That's what they're saying. They're saying that there is no delay to Diablo 3.
I would hope to God that they're being worked on by 2 different teams. Last thing I want is those 2 games out being fixed and addressed by all the same people. That would be suicide.
Now, there was an interview with the president of Blizzard, Mike Morhaime, and he said they usually expect a Blizzard release every year. Well, this year, since StarCraft 2 is pushed back, there is no Blizzard release. So that means next year, there are going to be 2 Blizzard releases.
No, there's going to be 1 Blizzard release next year until the other game gets delayed again. Because it's Blizzard.
But again, dude, take your time. I don't have a problem with it. Don't rush it out. Make sure it works. Fix whatever's broken. And release it when it's good.
That's alright. It's still going to beat Duke Nukem out.
Next topic.
Okay, one more story, and then we'll do a couple pieces of mail, and then we'll go from there. So, this story was also noted in an email from one of our listeners. We'll get to that mailbag in a bit. There was a death at an internet addiction camp in China. This wasn't shock therapy that killed him. We know that there was a story a couple weeks ago about them stopping shock therapy. So shock therapy didn't kill this kid.
This is like China, right?
This is China. This is mainland China. This is somewhere, I don't know what district, what province, but yeah, this is mainland China. So we have Deng Shenshan. He was a 16-year-old Chinese kid, and he was an internet gaming addict who was obsessed with online games. So his parents sent him to one of these nice little internet addiction camps for 1 month. Cost about $1,000 American.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus. No, wait, that's converted to American. It would be the equivalent of $1,000?
Yeah, it's $1,000 American. It'd cost you $1,000 to go to one of these camps.
Just get the boy a really classy hooker. Jesus.
Wow. Wouldn't that be very expensive, like twice as much in China? I mean, isn't stuff in China much cheaper, like cost of living?
Oh, cost of living wise? Depends on where you live.
I think what Phil's saying is $1,000 in America is a lot of money, but in China, $1,000 is exponentially a lot of money.
Well, no, that makes sense. I mean, if they're feeding him and giving him board, the home we sent my grandma to cost like 2.5 times that much a month. So if you get 2.5 times as much, yeah, that's about right. $1,000. Okay, that's reasonable.
China's not like all farmland and...
Yes, it is. It's all farmland.
No.
Thatched roof houses, farmland, rice paddies, and the government people who live in their palaces. That's all China is.
Okay, give me a second. Let me go change the wiki real quick.
There are parts of China that are very akin to America.
No, there's not.
No, there's not. Thatched roof houses. The cities, there are no buildings. It's just pollution.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of pollution, yeah. I'll give you the pollution. So when he got to the camp, he was asked to run. Just to run.
Run? Like exercise run?
That's not a good idea.
Or run for his life?
Run for his life. It is China.
Run, Forrest!
Exercise run. When he was asked to run, apparently he didn't run fast enough because 3 of the camp teachers beat him to death.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's great.
Apparently when they found his body, when his body was examined, his face was all beaten in and bloodied and his wrists were handcuffed.
So he didn't run fast enough then.
No, he did not run fast enough. They are now investigating the death.
That's funny, man. That's just funny. That's a great camp.
Yeah. Run or you will die.
I bet all the rest of the campers listened then, didn't they?
I bet they did. Ran their little Chinese asses off at that point.
We have a 99% success rate. Just don't ask what happened to the other 1%.
They got their faces beaten in.
I won't play Warcraft ever again. I won't play StarCraft ever again. Oh God, no more beating. Don't leave me in a f***ing ditch.
Next topic.
Mailbag! Mailbag!
Oh yeah, the guy who sent in that story about the internet death camp addiction, or death camp internet addiction, whatever. He was the same one who asked us, what's the worst game he could buy for someone for their birthday because he didn't like the guy.
All right, yes.
From David. I'd like to thank you guys for answering my question about the worst game on the 360. I think I called in too late, so you guys couldn't get an answer to me, so I decided to screw the game idea. I showed up completely wasted, crashed the party, shat on his bathroom floor,
Wow.
broke his lamp, and left. I hope that's worthy of a ham sandwich. All right.
You get a bear fruit for that.
Yeah, yeah, you get bear fruit for that.
Yeah.
You showed up and then the world.
Wait, what was the word of the week on Tosh.0? Hold on, it was appropriate for that. Hot pocket. When you pull out somebody's bed from a couch that turns into a bed, you pull out the bed on it and then fold it back up again.
Oh,
Hot pocket.
That's great, dude. I love it. That's brilliant.
Next topic.
Let's see here now. Has anyone... Okay, Ivan, have you ever played Morrowind?
no.
Yes.
Oh, but Keith, you have.
Yeah. Elder Scroll 3. Excellent game.
Email from Llama Mama. Hey guys, I know some of you, especially Ivan, liked Oblivion a lot, so I was wondering, have any of you played the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind? Many like me think it is a better game than Oblivion because of a better story, no crappy leveling system, etc. Yes, the graphics are a bit outdated, but with a few texture mods, you can get looking almost like Oblivion. Ham sandwiches to you all, thank you.
Morrowind, I think it was definitely a PC game, and I think it was released for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And I have heard that it was very good.
It was excellent, yes. If you like Oblivion, you would find it fun. You would enjoy it. Even with the graphics a little bit outdated, it's a very fun game.
Although he might have to play it on the PC because I don't know if it's backwards compatible.
Yeah, you probably have to get it for PC. But besides, it was a lot of loading with the Xbox, if memory serves.
And apparently he's saying that there is a mod community for it, so you probably can install mods to make it look better.
There is. There's a lot of stuff. People also make content that you can download with the PC version.
And if Tom were here, he would explain that as why PC games are superior.
Oh, and we have, and mentioning Tom, we have had people asking where Tom is.
Tom is a douchebag and thinks he's too busy to join us anymore.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it. There's your answer, guys, for everyone who asked. And that was Video Game Show episode number 154 for Sunday, August 9th, 2009. Any ham sandwiches, share dream pie, bear fruit, or apathy cakes to give to the world?
That list is getting longer.
You know, we already gave him a bear fruit.
No ham sandwiches for Batman?
No, it's just a demo. You get nothing. You get nothing until you get a game, until it's a real game.
And as usual, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or a roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org. Skype us at videogameshow or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night. Ivan, you're still mechy for a second. Wait for a second.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely need to download that demo there, Bob. You'd like it.
I will do so then.
Meat bag. Call Bob a meat bag.
Meat bag.
Me bag.